Hi, Schlossberg fans. I hope you're enjoying the process and that you're having a good day. And thanks for spending a few minutes with me again. I'm just going to look at number 30 in the Schlossberg book, and this one is entitled Bravura. You can look that up if you don't know what it means. It's important to know these little musical designations so that you can know what character the music is supposed to have. If I were to give you a translation, I would say something like boldly. Hope that works for you. So it's forte, it's accented, it's got tenuto markings, it's got sustaining markings, it's got staccato markings, and the basic gesture, goes into the upper register and then descends. So I'm going to give this one a shot here, and you'll get the basic idea. I don't think it played the right note. And before I started, I had an insecurity about where my pitch was going to be. And you heard me checking a little bit. For me, that's important. So if I know where the note is, oh, that's the right note. I'm playing on a C trumpet. Oh yeah. So it's higher than I expected to be because I usually practice these on B flat. I use them as warm-up exercises primarily. So now that I know where the note is, let's go ahead and try it. I'm going to keep going. I'm hearing that there's a little bit of pitch displacement between the top register and the bottom register. So that's a key thing to work on this. So if you get your tuner out, or you're playing with a drone, what I did in the past was I would take a tuner before they were all in our phones and attach it to my stereo system. I suppose you could do that with your phone as well if you have the right chords. And I'd play it through the stereo nice and loud so I can hear that pitch, and my sound on the trumpet can actually interact with the pitch. I'll probably demonstrate that for you sometime because I think that's a very, very useful way to work on intonation, one of the most useful. But if you're just looking at the tuner, you may notice that there can be differences between the top and the bottom octave. And this is rather strenuous, so don't just pound away, because if you're starting to get tight, you really can't play in tune comfortably or effectively. And you need to take a rest. Let me go ahead and move ahead and do the next one. Yeah, I'm starting to squeeze a little bit. Okay, let's talk about some of the details. I have accents. So, and there are many ways that you can do these accents stylistically. And so I have an idea in my mind, that's what I'm trying to do. Basic rule is that however the air moves past your lips, that's the way the sound is. So if you're going, then it's going to sound like, yeah, right? And if you're going, you're going to get that percussive, almost like a drumstick on the drum effect. Sometimes that's exactly what you want. Here, what I'm going to suggest to you is that it's almost like a breath attack with a light tongue. And the emphasis, instead of being on the front of the note, it's I'm exaggerating so you can actually see. Da, da. It's after the front of the note. Da, da, da. And you can practice this with your voice. I recommend that you do that. Da, 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 da. Not da, da. That's one style. Da, da. So what I'm doing is I'm throwing the energy into the body of the note to specific place in the timing of that note, and I can feel it. And that's what makes it fun. So I'm going to practice that in the middle register. If you're listening closely, you'll hear that I'm not putting kind of a button on the beginning of the note. I'm listening for the quality of the attack. So the beginning of the note, the way that sounds, where the peak energy is in the note, and then how the note is released, that's what gives you your style. And so all you really need to do is listen for that, or hear something that you like, hear another trumpet player. You might have heard some trumpet players that, I'm thinking of Dan Fornero out in LA. He just has an incredible ability to produce impact at the front of the note. It's just like, whoa, pow, you know, like a gunshot. Unbelievable. And he's not working hard to do it. See, that's a skill thing. I heard Chris Gecker mention that when he was at Juilliard, he would listen to Ray Mace practice, and he was listening to Mr. Mace practice one day, and he was working on marcato, and Chris was really impressed with how incredibly marcato Mace's marcato was. Why? Because that's what he was working for. So if you can't get that style thing going, then you're not starting in a good place. You want to work with that first, play in a comfortable register, and then see if you can maintain the articulation style throughout the register. So when I come down, I can play this in a lot of different ways. I'm going to do what I've said before. I'm going to go ahead and play one of these. Maybe I'll start on the F sharp this time. Play one of these as a slur. Now that was good for me to do because I wasn't maintaining exactly the right breath flow all the way through. I was kind of pushing and pulling a little bit, fighting a little bit. Now, you see, you might think I'm crazy because if your ears are really good, you won't, because you can hear what I'm talking about. But you might think, well, that sounds good to me, and you'll be right. So what I'm talking about is a high level awareness of both the qualities in the sound, the style things that I was talking about before, the refined qualities, and the physically refined qualities that contribute to those sounds. That's what you're dealing with. So I need to work on that descending staccato. If I can do it as a slur, now I had a little bit better balance, and I had to take my time and go slowly. I highly recommend that. Slow practice is something we should do, right? And remember, don't strain. Now, let's say I get that slur so that it's working. It's smooth. Working on the qualities, the musical quality, the effect that sound has. When somebody hears it, it's, you know, what does it feel like? It's almost as if you could see it, and that's a good way to work on these things. So we talked about pitch between the upper and lower register. That's a whole area that you can work very diligently on, and it's very challenging for most players. We talked about maintaining the same quality of sound, not pinching and squeezing as you go higher, or overblowing and kind of blowing the note, letting the note spread out as you go into the low register. That's a whole huge area that we need to work on. We talked about the different styles of the articulation, and mentioned slurring as well, which is a great thing to mix in when you're doing this. But above all, there's a musical gesture here, and if you listen to it, if this is part of a piece, this could be a solo that you're playing in a piece. Then you want a certain character. And that's, if you can get that in your imagination, experiment with it until you can get some of those ingredients happening coming out of the horn, then it's a lot more fun to practice. You're not just playing notes and you say, well, yeah, I played notes. I got the notes and they sounded good. What can you do with the sound that's expressive? That's what I'm encouraging you to engage here. As it says in the beginning of my website, listen to the artist inside. You all have an artist inside you. You need to listen to that artist and let them help you out. Okay, go practice. I hope you have fun, and I'll see you next time you're ready. Have a great day. Bye-bye.